Hello there, everybody. This is yet another episode of Let's Play Pac-Man World 2. So right now we are on Pac-Man, Pac.pond, sorry. And it's about time that we get started. So recently I've uploaded my first video, and I would like to thank all of my viewers for their immense participation. I like to see that at least someone's been watching my video, and I'm glad that I have a great start to a great LPing career. Yeah, you could always jump up here. Hold on, I'm gonna do that first. Sorry if I'm mumbling. Sorry if I'm mumbling a bit where you can't hear it. I tend to mumble a lot. I'll try not to do that too much, though. So, I do, however, before we begin, have a few quick technical notes, nothing too big. So, my equipment setup, naturally being made out of what I had around the house, isn't the fanciest, of course. However, I do have quite a bit of money from Christmas, so assuming that I do enjoy LPing, which so far seems like a fun thing to do in my spare time, I plan on obtaining a new microphone to produce much higher quality audio, but I know those things definitely aren't cheap. I've heard they go for around like $100 for a good one, or I don't know exact numbers, something like that. But hopefully I'll be able to get a microphone and produce much higher quality videos. Another thing worth obtaining would be an HDMI capture card for future use. However, unfortunately, I am performing this on a PS2, which I'm pretty sure they never made HDMI output for the PS2, considering it's a rather older console from... Was PS2? I think it was 2001, 2000, 1999. I really don't know when the PS2 was made, but HD video just wasn't a thing back then, if you know what I mean. And of course, as always, the first episode, with the first episode being done and everything, I have the feeling that I've been getting a lot of the smaller things worked out. Like, I did watch through it and sort of take into account what I could have done better. And I'm sure that every video I make will get better until I eventually make them. Wait, you're just out of my reach. Chrome thingy. I don't know the proper name for anything in this game, sorry. Well, whatever. Looks like that Galaxian has eluded me this time. Token. And I got dragged away by lag. Yeah, this capture card isn't the best either. It often causes I'm not sure if this is the program I use to take video from the capture card or just the capture card itself, but there tends to be pretty big desyncs that aren't fixed till I actually produce the video. Of course, that's why in the first episode it was actually during a test run which I got concerned about it, but during one of my test runs I got concerned seriously about 10-second desyncs, and I was like, oh my god, this is going to be a pain to fix. And then, you know, I was much luckier than I thought I'd be, and surely enough, those desyncs didn't actually exist. It was just issues with the program, it looks like. A glitch in the matrix, or system. A glitch in the system. Okay, let's see if we can... Yeah. The levels in this first world will tend to be a lot shorter than the rest of them. I'm sure once we get later on, I'll probably take much longer just to get each level done. So, of course, the next level is going to be a boss, because there's 3 levels in each world. Pac Village counts as a level, just like every level. And then, of course, we have to face this giant, big, green frog with those weird mechanic eyes, and it looks pretty menacing. I mean, it appears menacing until you realize it was probably... They probably got all their supplies for less than 20 bucks. I mean, seriously, if I was building this, I'd probably build it on a bit bigger of a budget. Yeah. Oh yeah, you don't have to re-roll it until later, I forgot that. I was just wasting my time. Time that could be spent doing many better things. What's that little bell thing in his mouth? Is that sort of... Oh, that bell's what's making the noises, of course. And now's where we have to revel. Oh, wait, that isn't a bell. That's the golden fruit. Then, wait. Oh, that's a clever use of technology. He's using the golden fruit as a bell, it looks like. I guess that's a pretty cool DIY bell that Froggy has there. I finally avoided the shock from a bounce. And before you all go asking, this is the easiest boss of the game. And while this game doesn't get too hard, not all the bosses will be quite this easy. If I recall correctly, Clyde and the Caldera was the... Well, I think it's actually Spooky is probably the hardest one because it's the last boss. But now, we can finally say we're officially done with the first world and on with the real game as we enter the Bedoing Woods. Bedoings are those little bouncy pads, like, sort of look like a target for jump. I wonder what happens if you look behind from here. I don't know, can't do it. I guess they're cool little, sort of like bullseyes. They've been in all 3 Pac-Man World games, and they're a pretty cool thing, actually. And as you can see, the blue ones bounce you much further than the other ones. I don't know why blue's big and red's sort of the little ones. I guess it's just the way the guys at Namco said they'd have it. And the guys who at Bedoing Technologies, I guess that's probably the company that made these Bedoings. Yeah, this game doesn't really have too much backstory, like, now I'm sort of curious, like, who does make these Bedoings? Is there, like, some sort of Pac-Me maybe? Yeah, Pac-Me. Pac company making a Pac company that makes everything. Pac-Me, there. There we have it. Perfect acronym making at its finest. I don't know, I'm sure there's tons of fanfics out there that go into where Bedoings are from, just knowing the great depths of the internet and what lies down there. Oh wow, there's a lot of tokens on this rise up. I do sort of feel though, I mean, it doesn't even explain really what's on the 4th floor that Pac-Man has to avoid. I mean, maybe Pac-Man's just a cool guy and he likes climbing around on tall trees like this, you know? Sort of like the world's largest jungle gym, you know if you know what I mean? Okay, I'm gonna take a little shortcut for that. I was so... That was close, but no cigar. And naturally, it's gonna take me back all the way down here. One thing I was That's why you don't... I don't think dying constantly really makes you a cool guy, but... I'm sure there's some guys out there with strange obsessions with dying that can never quite be completely fulfilled, but... Speaking of dying, if I die, should I fast forward to where I left off, or... Just wondering what you guys prefer, because... I mean, sort of like how the customers always write, you, the fans, of course, are my customer, if you will. If it wasn't for you, there'd be no community, and if there wasn't a community, no one would watch LPs, of course, and LPs would just be a guy talking to himself very creepily. You know, it's called a Let's Play, not I play and upload my videos to YouTube, because why not? Okay, but careful aiming. That was much better than last time. So let's prepare for the great descent, and I'll see you at the bottom. Great, we landed just slightly off, and naturally as a reward we get a free ride to the top. Not bad. Not bad at all. Quite a few pack dots to go along with it. Come to think of it, it would actually be pretty fun to ride one of those pack dot chains in real life. I mean, you know, to sort of get the... of course, I have to go down all the way here just to get that one apple. Can't Pac-Man just go to a grocery store? I mean... maybe this game's about some post-apocalyptic world where, you know, prices of everything have inflated to the point in which the economy's collapsed and it's every man for himself. That's the thing about this game. Unlike the third game, which overdid the plot to the point where it sort of took away from the general gameplay, this game had no plot, really had no plot. I mean, yes, there's the introduction cutscene and whatnot, and yes, there is an ending cutscene, but I wouldn't really consider that much of a plot as much of just, you know, a bit of backstory to go along with the gameplay, if you know what I mean. Sorry I'm being a bit less talkative during this part. It's just such stuff like this requires maximum concentration so that I have one life to save the dots. Oh my god! That was seriously close. I'm sure during this LP I'll make up quite a bit of stuff though, just to go along with the whole story of this game. Like, you know, it can't just be, there has to be more to the Pac-Man world, you know? Like, they could do a lot to make this game more interesting. Like, what if, I don't know, Pac-Man was having an affair on his wife, you know? It's the sort of gossip that people like nowadays. I mean, sort of gets annoying when we're stalking celebrities all day, but just sort of what people like, you know? Also, I do like how they took a bunch of characters from Pac-Man games who had no backstory, no meaning, and they even made like a complete village for them to live in and everything. That's one of the amazing things about this game. They took a franchise with no story and added a complete story and sort of added more background. Because I think Pac-Man World was the first 3D Pac-Man game to really go through, like, you know, Pac-Man and, you know, it's the first to include Pac-Village, definitely, and most of the other characters, like, not much was known about them. Like, I know there were a few short cutscenes in Miss Pac-Man, because, like I said, played it at the BT meetup when I could have been talking to LPers, because that's how I go. I don't really get the point of this, but well. All oranges collected. The end is near. Ah, no, the camera took me at just the wrong moment. Okay. Yeah, like I said, this level is much longer than any level we've gone through before. And of course, I have no idea why I'm doing this jumping except to entertain you when I fall and get really mad at the camera. Or not the camera, but Because when I'm mad, you do not want to be around me, even when you're protected by our computer screens. You can take my word for it on that. Like that! What? I'm not gonna get... I mean, I'm not really mad, but... You know, that's another... Maybe if I died less, I'd be able to fit more actual content and not me just backtracking on everything, because games are never the same if you're constantly trying to talk. Ooh, I forgot about this area up here. There's a one-off here. I guess that makes up for what happened. Okay, and then naturally one more. And we're back here. And I lost a health due to that good old fall damage, which you can avert, which there's no excuse for really, because you can just avert it by that whole thing with butt bouncing, I guess, which yeah, butt bouncing, ground pounding, you know, it's all the same move, except butt bounce just sort of has that, you know, I don't know, it's just a cool name for a move, even though looking at the animations, it's more of a back bounce. Must hurt. I imagine if Pac-Man keeps up with these butt bounces, or back bounces as I might as well call them, he's gonna have to see a chiropractor pretty soon. Which, you know, sort of wonder if someone moved into Pac Village where they'd put their house, you know, because I mean, they're all living in a perfect circle. There's not really much room for extras, if you know what I mean. I don't know. I don't have a degree in city planning or whatever, so I'm not gonna go into those CAD programs and design in advance like that. I'm not gonna get all this. I'm not gonna go into those programs and design an advanced layout for the entire land of Pac. Because, I mean, as cool as that would look and as much creds as that would get me from the fan geeks, I just don't really have the time for that stuff. You know, I get like 6 hours of sleep every night as is. Filling my schedule with anything more would pretty much be suicide, if you know what I mean. Okay. Lag spike for me that you couldn't see. That's one of the big problems of having problems that are fixed upon video rendering. You just don't get to experience the same inconsistencies in the recording that I do. Like when I see a desync of 10 seconds or so, you see a perfect sync up of my voice and all. And, you know, LPing just isn't that simple. Things go wrong that you don't even know could go wrong. And yet, from your point of view, everything is perfectly fine. It's a lot easier with that net over it. Sure is. Do power pellets? No, they don't count towards your count. Ah! You were trying to hide from me, Mr. Blue Ghost. You know what they say, you can run, but you can't hide. Mr. Pac Exterminator's coming out to get you. Ah, that was sort of a practice maze for the real deal. Okay, well, even the real deal can't be that hard. Yeah, I do think it's a bit easier to focus, come to think of it, when your commentary actually has some involvement in the game, as opposed to when, you know, your mind is subconsciously playing the game and you're just sort of trying to add the game as a backdrop, as I sort of did in the first episode, because I mean, I'm not saying that I don't like talking about my personal life. I definitely do have an interesting life, that I have a lot of stories that I'm willing to share with you. But of course, you need to balance that content with the actual game, because it's not too bad. The desync's only at 3 seconds for me. Okay, and how's our time doing? It looks like we're already out of time. You know, time flies when you're having fun, I guess, you know? So, please remember to rate, comment, subscribe, PM me about anything. If you have any recommendations on an HD capture card or a new microphone. My budget for the microphone is pretty much as cheap as possible. I'd prefer if it would be in stores like either Fry's Electronics or Best Buy, but if you want me to, I assume I could order online. It's just more convenient for me to go to the store and pick it up. And of course, when you go to pick it up, you aren't going to be spending hours saying, oh my god, did it come in the mail today? Did it come into the mail today? No, it did not come in the mail today. Well, I'll see you next time.